My precious child, listen carefully. This message has found you for a reason, and the timing is no accident. You did not stumble upon this by chance. I led you here, in this very moment, because there is something I need you to hear, something that your heart has been waiting to receive for a long time now. Before you do anything else, just stop for a second. Let the world slow down around you. Take one slow breath and open the door of your heart just a little. I am here. I am speaking. And what I have to say to you matters more than anything else you will hear today. Do not let the noise pull you back just yet. Stay with me. Let me reach you where you actually are, not where you wish you were, not where others expect you to be, but right here, in the quiet place behind your eyes, where only I can see. You came to this message carrying something. Maybe you cannot even name what it is. Maybe it just feels like a heaviness sitting on your chest, a kind of emptiness that follows you around, even in a room full of people. Maybe it is the ache that comes in the dark when the day is done, and there is nothing left to distract you from how alone you sometimes feel. I know that ache. I have been watching it, and I came to speak into it today, directly, carefully, the way only I know how to do. This is me, Jesus, speaking directly into your heart right now, not through a stranger on a screen, not through words written for someone else. Right here, soul to soul, in the stillness that only I can create inside you. I am the one who hung the stars and named them one by one. I am the one who breathed life into the first morning. And I am the one who knows your name. Not just the name people call you, but the name written in the deepest part of who you are. The name I gave you before you were born. Take a slow breath. Let the world get quieter. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to fix your face or straighten your posture or hide the parts of yourself you are ashamed of. I already see all of it, and I am still here. That should tell you something right there. I did not come to lecture you. I did not come to add to the weight you are already carrying. I came because I love you, and because there are things I will not let another night pass without you knowing. These things are true whether you feel them or not. They are true whether the world around you reflects them back to you or not. And I am going to say them to you now, one by one, until something in you begins to soften and receive them. I saw you last night, my child. I want you to know that. When the house got quiet and the thoughts got loud, when the loneliness that visits you at night settled in like a cold fog around your shoulders, I was there. I did not look away. I did not get busy with something else. I sat with you in it. You may not have felt me, and I understand that. There are seasons when the silence between us feels like a wall and not a window. But I was on the other side of that wall the whole time, closer than your own breath. I have seen the things you have never said out loud, the grief you swallowed so other people would not have to carry it with you, the small humiliations you filed away and tried to forget, the ones that still surface at 2 a.m. when your defenses are down, the questions that keep circling back, the ones that start with why and never seem to find a landing place. Why does it feel like everyone else has found their people and you are still searching? Why do you give so much and come back so empty? Why does the kind of connection you are looking for keep passing just slightly out of reach? I have heard every one of those questions, my child. Every single one. And I want you to know that asking them is not a sign of weak faith. Asking them is a sign that you are still in conversation with me, that you have not stopped believing there is someone on the other end who can answer. I am that someone. I was watching the night you sat with those questions and wondered if anyone would answer. I answered. You may not have recognized my voice in the quiet that followed, but that quiet was mine. That particular stillness that sometimes comes after the hardest cry. That was me, sitting with you, holding the space, refusing to leave. I want you to understand something about the loneliness that visits you at night. It is real. It is not weakness. It is not a spiritual problem you have failed to solve. Some of the people closest to my heart have known that loneliness deeply. Paul in a prison cell, writing letters by lamplight to churches he could not visit. David in a cave, hiding from the man he had once called king. Elijah under a tree in the desert, so worn down, he asked me to let him go. Even my own mother, standing at the foot of the cross, watching something she could not stop, could not fix, could not understand. Every one of them knew the loneliness that visits in the dark, and not one of them was abandoned in it. Not one. That loneliness is part of living in a world that was made for more than it currently delivers. It is the homesickness of a soul that knows, even if it cannot explain how, that it was made for something the visible world has not yet fully given it. That ache is not evidence I have abandoned you. It is evidence that you were made for eternity, and eternity has not fully arrived yet. But I have. I am here. And every tear you have cried in that lonely dark, I have stored each one. The scripture says I put your tears in a bottle, that I keep a record of every one. That is not a metaphor, my child. That is how much your pain matters to me. I do not skim past your hurt on my way to bigger things. There are no bigger things to me than you. You, sitting there right now, in whatever state your heart is in. That is the whole reason I came. I see the loneliness behind the smile you show the world. I see the part of you that has learned to say fine when someone asks how you are doing. I see the practiced nod the quick pivot to other topics, the way you have trained yourself to take up less space with your own pain so others feel comfortable. You have been doing that for so long, it has started to feel like your natural shape, like the smaller version of yourself is actually you. It is not. The smaller version is the one you built to survive in rooms where your fullness was not welcomed. But you were not made for survival. You were made for life. Real life. The kind I described when I said I came that you might have it abundantly. Abundantly is not fine. Abundantly is not getting through another week. Abundantly is the overflow, the cup running over. And it is not reserved for people whose circumstances are easier than yours. It is reserved for people who let me fill the cup. You have been walking around with an empty cup for a long time, trying to drink from the residue at the bottom, wondering why you keep running dry. Bring me the empty cup. That is all I need. You do not have to fill it first. You do not have to clean it first. Just bring it and watch what I do. You have been carrying too much quietly for too long. And today I am sitting with you in it, and I am saying, you do not have to carry it the same way anymore. Not alone. Not in silence. Not as if the carrying itself were a mark of your worth. You are worth so much more than what you endure. Let me show you. I want to tell you something about the road you have been walking, my child. I know it has felt long. I know there have been seasons when you looked back and could not tell if you had moved at all. And when you looked forward, you could not see where the path was going. I know there have been prayers you sent up that seemed to come back to you with nothing visible attached. And you had to decide whether to send them up again or stop trying. The fact that you are still here tells me you kept sending them. Good. Because I received every one. What has looked like delay was not delay. Not from where I was standing. From where I stood, it looked like preparation. Deep, careful, unhurried preparation for someone who is worth taking time with. You know how a craftsman does not rush the piece he cares about most, the one he is pouring himself into. He will not deliver it before it is ready, not because he does not love the person waiting, but because he loves them too much to give them something half-formed. That is what I have been doing with your story. I have been protecting you from things you did not know were coming. The relationship that felt like a door I slammed shut, I closed it because I could see what was on the other side of staying in it. The opportunity that slipped away before you could catch it, I let it go because it would have taken you somewhere I was not going with you. Every no I gave you was a sentence in a longer letter. And the letter, when you finally read it whole, is going to make sense in a way that nothing I say right now can fully prepare you for. You are going to look back on this season and understand it. Not just accept it. Understand it. You are going to see the stitching of it. How each hard thing connected to the next. How the waiting built something in you that the easy road never could have. Patience is not something you can explain to someone who has never been asked to use it. You have been learning it in the hardest classroom there is, the school of not yet. The room where hope has to find its own food to stay alive. And it has stayed alive in you. I see that. I want to make sure you hear me say that, because I think you might be measuring your faithfulness by how certain you feel, rather than by how long you have held on. Certainty is not the measure. Endurance is. And you have endured things that should have broken you. And you are still here, still soft enough to receive this message, still open enough to wonder if I am speaking. That is not a small thing. That is not ordinary. That is actually what I have been watching with the most tender attention. The fact that you are still here. Not what you have achieved, not what you have figured out. The fact that after everything, you are still here, still believing that this voice might be real, still leaning in to hear it. That is the work. That is the forge. And what has been forged in you during this long season is exactly the kind of character that can carry what I am about to release into your life without it overwhelming you. Because some gifts, if they arrive too early, do not feel like gifts at all. They land on unready ground and do not take root. I am not interested in giving you things that will not last. I am interested in blessing you in a way that holds. And what I have been building in you during this time is the capacity to hold it. The roots go deep now. You are more ready than you know. You are closer than it feels. The ground beneath your feet has been shifting, quietly, faithfully, in the direction of everything you have been asking me for. I ask you to trust that, not because trusting feels easy right now, but because my track record with the people who trusted me, even when they could not see the next step, even when the silence lasted longer than they thought they could survive, is a record of faithfulness you can stand on. I have never let one of mine down. I am not starting with you. Right now, as you hear my voice, something is beginning to move. I need you to let yourself feel that. Not manufacture it. Not force a feeling that is not there. But open yourself to the possibility that what I am saying is true. That right now, in this very moment, the atmosphere around your life is shifting. Things that have been stuck for a long time are loosening. Prayers that have been sitting in heaven, waiting for the right time, are beginning to find their way toward you. I am not speaking of vague, distant hope. I am speaking of specific, intentional movement on your behalf. The door of your healing is opening. The door of real belonging of truly mattering to someone, of being known and wanted and chosen. That door is swinging open. I am the one turning the handle. I am not a distant God who set things in motion and then stepped back to watch from a safe distance. I am a God who is personally, actively, presently involved in the details of your life. I know your address. I know the time zone you are in. I know which corner of the house the loneliness tends to find you in. And I am filling that corner right now, if you will let me. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is a presence that makes the problems smaller by comparison. My peace passes the kind of understanding your mind can manufacture on its own. It is a quietness that settles under the surface of things, even when the surface is still rough, even when the circumstances have not changed yet, even when the answer has not come yet. You can have peace in the waiting. You can have peace in the middle of the not yet. I am not withholding it until your life is sorted out. I am releasing it to you right now, in the mess, in the uncertainty, in the quiet ache of a night that visits too often. Receive it. Do not argue yourself out of it by insisting you have not earned it yet. You do not earn my peace. You receive it. That is the whole point. Let whatever tension is living in your shoulders begin to soften. Let the place behind your eyes, the one that has been bracing for the next hard thing, let it rest for a moment. I am taking the weight, and I am the best one to carry it. Where you go from here is not uncertain to me. I know the end of your story. It is good. It is so much better than you are currently allowing yourself to hope for. I want you to expand what you are hoping for. Let the ceiling rise a little, because what I have planned for you does not fit inside the small box of what you have decided you deserve. You have been living inside a too small version of your own story. I am here to tell you the story is bigger than that. Wider, warmer, more full of light than you have let yourself imagine. And it is not a future story only. It is beginning right now. In this listening, in this receiving, in this tiny but real act of staying present with my voice instead of running back to the noise. My beloved child, you need to hear this next part slowly. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not the person who always gets left out, always gets overlooked, always waits in the room while everyone else's names get called first. You are mine, and I do not forget what belongs to me. There is a scripture I want to place in your hands right now, like a stone you can hold on to. It asks, can a mother forget the baby at her breast? Can she feel no compassion for the child she has borne? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. That is Isaiah 49, verse 15. That is my voice, speaking through centuries of time, directly to you in this moment. I am saying, even the most tender, most primal human love, the love of a nursing mother for her newborn child, even that love can fail. Even that love can go cold, or go absent, or simply run dry. But mine cannot. Mine does not run out. Mine does not go cold when you are inconvenient. Mine does not forget you when the night gets long and the silence gets heavy, and the loneliness that visits you at night makes you wonder if you are really worth showing up for. I show up. I always show up. You are not the last thing on my list. You are not someone I get to when I have finished with everyone else first. You are not less urgent than the person beside you. You are not less loved than the person whose life looks more put together from the outside. I do not love in degrees. I do not grade on a curve. I love you completely. The same complete love I have for every soul I have made, which means you have all of me, not a share of me, not what was left after I gave the better portion to someone more deserving. All of me. That is how I love. You are enough, my child. Not because you earned it. Not because you finally got your act together. Not because you said the right prayers this week, or cried the right amount, or kept your faith perfectly consistent. You are enough because I made you. And I do not make things that are not enough. The world has taught you to measure yourself against other people, against what you should have accomplished by now, against the expectations that got layered onto you before you were old enough to decide if you agreed with them. Those measurements were never mine. They were never accurate. They were human instruments trying to assign value to something that already had infinite worth the moment I breathed it into being. You had infinite worth before you did a single thing, and you have not spent it down. You have not depleted it by failing. You have not lost it in the hard seasons. It is still there, whole, untouched, exactly what it always was. You are chosen, not because you chose me first, though I am glad when you do, but because before the foundation of the world, I looked through all of time, and I chose you. Your name was always in my book. Your story was always being written by my hand. The loneliness you feel right now does not change that. The unanswered questions do not change that. The chapter you are in, even if it is the most difficult one yet, is still part of the story I am telling through you. And it is a story worth finishing. You are not a rough draft I am thinking of setting aside. You are the real thing, the one I am invested in, the one I am leaning over, the one I stayed up for. think about that for a moment. The King of everything, the one who spoke galaxies into being, the one who holds the whole universe together by the word of his power. That one stayed up for you, leaned in for you, left the throne of heaven for you. Not for a version of you that has it all together, for the exact version sitting there right now, with the loneliness you carry, and the questions you cannot answer, and the ache that starts up every time the sun goes down. For that one, I want to say something about the comparisons you make, my child. The ones you make in the quiet, when you look at someone else's life and feel the familiar sting of falling short. Their house, their family, their sense of purpose, the way they seem to belong somewhere so naturally, while you have always felt like you arrived a little late to a party that already started without you. Those comparisons are lies, not small lies, big ones, because they assume we are all running the same race. We are not. Your race is yours. Your pace is yours. Your terrain is yours. And the distance you have covered, given the weight you have been carrying, given the ground you have had to travel over, given the seasons you have had to endure, is remarkable. If I showed you the whole map of your journey from the beginning until now, you would weep. Not from sadness, from the realization of how far you have actually come. From the realization that the struggles you lived through would have flattened most people, and you are still standing. I see the whole map, and what I see moves me. You are precious to me, and I mean that word the way it was meant to be used. Precious means rare. It means costly. It means worth protecting and tending and not treating carelessly. That is what you are. Worth everything I gave to come and find you. So here is what I am asking of you, my child, and it is not much. I am not asking you to have everything figured out. I am not asking you to stop feeling the loneliness, to just decide you feel fine and move on. I am not asking you to pretend the questions do not exist or the hurt does not hurt. I am asking you to take my hand. That is all. One hand extended toward me, even if it is trembling, even if the doubts are loud right now, saying things like, what if this is just words? What if nothing actually changes? What if you reach out and the silence meets you again? Reach anyway. Because I am real. And I am here. And once you let me hold on, I do not let go. I told you already. Can a mother forget the child she carried? Even she might. But I will not. I have carved your name into the palms of my hands. That is what the scripture says. Carved, not written in pencil, not typed somewhere that might get deleted. Carved, the way you mark something permanent, the way you mark something that is not going anywhere. the way you mark something that belongs to you, no matter what happens next. Your name is there. My hands remember you, even when your own heart doubts that I do. I want you to do something for me right now. Tell me what you are carrying. Not to inform me, I already know, but because putting words to it in my presence is the act of surrender that opens the door to healing. Whatever it is, bring it. The exhaustion that has settled into your bones from carrying hope for so long without the payoff. The grief that never quite finished grieving. The fear that you missed something, that the life you were supposed to have already passed by and you were looking the wrong direction. Lay it down, right here. I am not asking you to fix it first. I am asking you to lay it down as it is, unfinished, unmended, still raw. Trust me with the unfinished places. That is the thing about my grace. It does not wait for the mess to be cleaned up before it arrives. The mess is exactly where it shows up. In the broken places. In the prayer that trails off because you ran out of words. In the night that felt like it would never end. In the morning that came anyway, even if it felt thin. I was in all of it. I am in this right now. Crack the door open, just a little. The way a window opens in a stuffy room and suddenly the air starts to move again. You do not have to fling it wide. Just crack it, and I will do the rest. I am the one who turns mourning into dancing. I am the one who makes a way where there was no way. I am the one who calls the things that are not yet as though they already are. I see your tomorrow. It is brighter than your yesterday. I am not guessing. I am not offering you hopeful language to make you feel better in the moment. I am telling you what I see when I look at your story from outside of time. The shape of it is beautiful, even now, even in this chapter. I believe in you, my child, not a little, completely. With the same certainty I have about everything else I have ever made and called good. You are good. I said so, and I was right. I want to say one more thing before we move on. About the nights, about the specific quality of loneliness that comes in the dark, after the distractions run out. When it is just you and the ceiling and the thoughts that will not be quiet. I know you have tried to fill that space with things that do not ultimately fill it. The scrolling, the searching, the reaching for the phone just to feel like someone is there. The replaying of conversations from years ago, wondering if you should have said something differently. Wondering if that is why things went the way they did. I know all of it. And I am not here to make you feel bad about any of it. I am here to tell you that what you are searching for in all of those places is real. And it is findable. And it is me. The connection you are aching for. The sense of being fully known and fully loved anyway. That is not a fantasy. That is not a story you made up to comfort yourself. It is the truth about what I created you for, and it is available to you right now in relationship with me, not as a substitute for human belonging. I will bring human belonging too, but as the foundation that makes human belonging able to actually hold you rather than disappoint you with its limitations. When you are rooted in my love, the love of other people becomes a gift rather than a lifeline you are desperately clinging to. You can receive it freely because you are not surviving on it. I want that for you. I am working on that for you. The loneliness that visits you at night is not your permanent address. It is a season, a hard one, but a season. And seasons change. I change them. Comment, "I love your presence" below if you can feel me with you right now. Let that be the quiet agreement between you and me that this word landed where I sent it. And if something in this message reached a place in you that needed reaching, type "Amen" right now as a declaration that you receive it. Before you go back to the noise of the day, my precious child, receive this. Receive my peace. Not the peace that comes when everything is sorted out and life is running smoothly. The peace that I give does not depend on your circumstances being right. It holds you even when the circumstances have not changed yet. It steadies you even when the answers have not come yet. You are not forgotten. That is not a comfort phrase I offer to make you feel better temporarily. That is a fact, written into the very fabric of how I made this world and how I made you. You are seen. You are known. You are held. The loneliness that visits you at night does not have the final word. I do. And my word over you is beloved. My word over you is chosen. My word over you is not forgotten. Not now, not ever. Not in this life or the one after it. Walk out of this moment differently than you walked in. Not because you have all the answers, but because you heard my voice. And hearing my voice changes something that is not easily undone. Something is shifted in you right now. Let it. Carry this with you. Come back to it when the dark gets heavy again. And when it does, remember that I was here, that I came for you specifically, that the one who made the stars paused to sit with you in your loneliness and say your name, because you are worth that. You have always been worth that. I love you, my child. With everything I am, I love you. Go in my peace. Amen.